I'm going to talk about estrangement today, and this is a topic that I don't really hear talked about in mental health very often at all. Estrangement is when someone who you feel should be close to you or has been close to you becomes distant, disconnected, you have no contact with them. It often happens because of a period of conflict, disappointment, or unmet needs. I've experienced estrangement in my life, in my adult life, but a long time ago, and it took place over many years. The person was gone for a long time, and it was heartbreaking. In my situation, the person was gone from many people's lives. It just wasn't just gone from my life. I knew, or I felt it probably wasn't to do with something that I had done wrong, but the feelings I was left with was complete heartache, heartbreak, to the point that I suppressed all of those feelings, and my way of coping with it for a long time was just to not think about it and certainly not talk about it, until I realized that it was affecting me deeply, and it all kind of came to the surface, and then I decided to actually address the pain that the estrangement had caused me. And then what that involved was actually just releasing all of the emotions as if someone had died, essentially grieving, crying, releasing all of the emotion, releasing all of the emotional pain that I'd stored up over many years. And then once I did that, I reached the point of acceptance, and it was like a weight lifted. I was no longer carrying this pain anymore. And then the person was still gone, but I accepted it. Of course, I accepted that they would never come back, because that's what acceptance is about. You no longer need something anymore. And of course, and this has happened many times in my life where I come to accept things that I don't accept. At the point that I accepted it was the very point that the person came back into my life. And in my situation, the estrangement is no more. So this is no longer an issue in my life. This is no longer a problem. But I'll never forget the pain that it caused me. And I'll always empathize with anyone who has a close loved one, particularly a biological relative, who has become estranged from their life, because this type of grief is a type of grief that very few people can understand or acknowledge. But I always say to people, it is the exact same as if someone has died. And it should be treated like that. You really do need to grieve and mourn the loss of a loved one who, for whatever reason, has chosen to be estranged from you. In many cases, you can't do anything apart from just grieve the loss and accept and respect their choice of not being connected to you anymore. Has anyone who's watching this experienced estrangement, or is currently experiencing estrangement, or you're struggling with this? What does that feel like? How is it impacting you? How are you dealing with it? Have you done anything positive that's helping you cope with this?